It's the summer of 2012. I'm about to turn 30, and I'm more lost than ever. I have a huge chip on my shoulder for years now, courtesy of a violent childhood, my time in the Marine Corps, and a dangerously irresponsible resistance to therapy. I'm angry at the world. I have a short temper. I drink too much. I fight. I'm a nightmare to my on-again, off-again girlfriend. I can't keep jobs or friends. The only friends I really have are wherever I happen to be working at the time, my coworkers. And even them, eventually, I push away. I have trouble getting along with people. I don't really like them. I don't play well with others. I've never been comfortable in a room with more than 5 people without any alcohol in me. One afternoon, during this dark time in my life, I leave work after a lunch shift and I walk by this Petco. And outside of it, an animal rescue had set up shop. All along the sidewalk there were crates with dogs in them up for adoption. And I spot this one beautiful gray and white pit bull. He's got the sweetest face, kindest light brown eyes. He has this gnarly fresh scar on the side of his snout here, another fresh scar across his belly. I asked the lady who runs the rescue, this sweet little old Puerto Rican lady from the Bronx, I go, who's this guy? What's his story? She goes, this here is Papy. I found him up in the Bronx a couple of weeks ago. He had just got hit by a car. His insides were all out. I'm like, Jesus, yeah, but he's okay. He'll be fine. He's up for adoption. I'm like, oh, man, I wish, but impossible. You know, I work in a restaurant. I'm never home. I work late. I wouldn't have time for him. Wouldn't be able to give him the life he deserves. She's like, oh, okay, I see. Hey, could you just do me a big favor? Could you just give him a quick walk around the block for me so he can go potty? I knew what she was up to. But I'm not one to pass up an opportunity to hang out with a doggy. So I walk him around the block, and sure enough, that was it. I'd fallen head over heels, and there was no way I'm going home without this guy. I adopt him right then and there. I bring him home, I sit him down, and I go, okay, first order of business, we gotta change your name. Because there is no way when people ask me, what's your dog's name, I'm saying Papy. Papy, it's time to go home, Papy. I saw this movie when I was a kid, Rumblefish, one of my favorite movies. Main character's name is Rusty James. Love that name ever since. So I went with that, and it fit him perfectly. So I have a dog now, and everything just gets better immediately. That first night, I got some of the best sleep I'd gotten in a very long time. I went to bed early, slept right by my side, never moved. Slept like a human on his side with his head on the pillow. I wake up in the middle of the night from one of my usual bad dreams, put my arm around him, calm right down, fall back asleep. I first walk. I notice I'm much more laid back. Things that would normally irritate me, I let them go. For example, this guy decides we're in England. He's walking towards me on the wrong side of the sidewalk, his left. Instead of saying something like I normally would, just look down at Rusty James, looking up at me, that big smile. You're right, it's not worth it. Let's move over. My life slowly but surely begins to change. I begin to change. Diego, we're going out for drinks. You coming? I can't. I got to go home and walk Rusty James. I can't. I got to go feed Rusty James. I can't get into it with this guy. I get arrested. I'm not out of jail till tomorrow. Rusty James is fucked. I got to walk away. I can't get into a fight with my girlfriend. Rusty James will freak out. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Rusty James begins to mold me into this better man that I would eventually become. Under his tutelage, I learned things like patience, understanding, tolerance, compassion, forgiveness, unconditional love. Even when my girlfriend and I break up for good, we still share custody because I understand that having double the love and care is the best thing for him. But there's still this one little big problem that I find myself struggling with. And that's my little issue with people. Not being comfortable around them and not being able to open up to them. And Rusty James actually makes it worse. Because you gotta understand, I'm walking around with the cutest dog on the planet now. And with that comes a lot of attention from people. Strangers, and I'm not ready for that. Can I say hi to your dog? Can I pet your dog? Sure. They barely get down and say hi. I'm dragging them away already. Okay, thank you. Bye. I'm a freak. I'm a dick. I'm like that for a bit. And then one day, this old man in a wheelchair rolls by us. He's well into his 80s. He's being pushed by his nurse, caretaker. And he sees Rusty James, and he just lights up. And just cheese, ear to ear. Rusty James clocks him, and you make eye contact with Rusty James, and that's it. He's like, oh, you want to say hi? You want in on this? Let's go. And that man was so happy, petting Rusty James. The sounds coming out of him were delightful. So it occurred to me, man, Rusty James and I have the power to, as silly as it sounds, with all the messed up stuff in the world that we can't do anything about, we have the power to provide people with a little joy, a smile, if ever so briefly. Why not? Why rob them of that? Why rob him of that? Let him say hi. Can I say hi to your dog? Please, by all means. I start to let my guard down, make a conscious effort to engage, to be nice. And we get to talking, and it's not so bad. Actually, it's pretty nice. I'm not melting or anything. I'm thinking to myself, look at you, Diego, you can do this. And don't look now, but you're sober. And it was just so much easier and less exhausting than being a dick. Five years go by. 5 life-changing, life-enriching years. And my ex-girlfriend, who, as I mentioned, we share custody, but by this point, he's as much hers as he is mine. She informs me that she got a job in Texas, where she's originally from. And she's going to take it, and she's got to be there in a month. So now it comes time to decide on Rusty James' fate. And it is a painful but logical no-brainer. I mean, she would have steady income, house, backyard, friends and family to help out. I had nothing and nobody, to the problem of that, having that it would be for him there. Have him struggle here with me would be criminal. So Rusty James and I squeeze every moment we can out of the next 30 days. And on the last day, Rusty James and I say our goodbyes in my ex-girlfriend's empty East Village studio apartment. We go downstairs, and we say goodbye some more. They hop on their rented U-Haul truck and drive off. And after 5 years with my sweet boy, he's out of my life, just like that. And I'm just destroyed. I just want to get fucked up. I want to drink myself into oblivion for the rest of the day, the week, the month. There's a bar across the street, and I intend to do just that. But I'm also afraid because I know that state I'm in, there's no telling when I'll be able to get out of this dark hole. I know myself. I'll go on a bender. I don't give a fuck about my job, people. I don't care. There's a gym to my right that I used to go to sometimes. Now I'm torn. Do I go straight, drown my pain, or do I go right, sweat it out, face it head on? Straight, right, straight, right. And then I thought, what would Rusty James want me to do? If he were still here and I had to come home to him tonight, which version of those two would he want walking through the door? I went right. I went to the gym. I never saw Rusty James again after that. But his mom was really good about sending me updates on him, pics and videos of him tearing it up in the country, living his best life. And he lived a long and happy one until he died, an old man, a year ago. And though I never saw him again, he's always remained a constant presence and influence in my life. Every decision I make, every action I take, I try to do so as if he's still waiting for me at home. Or as if he were looking up on me on one of our walks. Thank you.